Welcome to Honduras This Week online news videocast for Monday, May 19th, 2008. This videocast is brought to you by Minister Suites, Sweet Dreams. Padre Andres Tamayo, human rights activist nominated for International Award. Honduran human rights activist Father Andres Tamayo was nominated for the 2008 Frontline Award for Human Rights Defenders at Risk. Frontline is an international organization for the protection of human rights defenders. Read the full article by Laura Stray in the national section. Justice and compassion. A multitude of citizens dressed in white marched the streets of San Pedro Sula on Wednesday, May 14th. What was their message? People are tired of crime and violence, of sharing their cities and villages with delinquents, and tired of having to put up yet another lock on their doors. In Tegucigalpa, the Fiscales hunger strike finally came to an end, lasting 38 days with enormous popular support. Read this week's editorial in the opinion and editorial section. Improving transportation within Honduras requires rethinking. In terms of Honduras transportation statistics, there are around 700 kilometers of railroad, 16,000 kilometers of roads, 7 ports and harbors, a total of 12 paved runways, and over 100 unpaved airports. Railroads were once a favorite for many people who got to experience traveling along the much-desired Caribbean coastline. Today, only 3 separate segments of railway remain due to lack of funding and because most of the government's attention regarding public transport leans in favor of the bus lines. Read the full article by Callum Oliver Rees in the national section. JICA to perform at LaCeiba Carnival. With the purpose of strengthening the bonds of friendship between the people of Honduras and Japan, volunteers and staff members of the Japan International Cooperation Agency JICA will delight children and adults with traditional dances, music, colorful costumes, martial arts, and typical floats during the highly anticipated LaCeiba Carnival on May 24th. JICA's Rosa Aguilar brings us more in the national section. La Ruta Moskitia announced as winner of Tourism for Tomorrow Award. La Ruta Moskitia, an alliance of 5 community-owned ecotourism enterprises in Honduras' Rio Plátano Biosphere Reserve, has been awarded the highly coveted Tourism for Tomorrow Award of the World Tourism and Travel Council, the WTTC, in the Investor and People category. Read the full article by Matthew Humke in the Travel and Tourism section. Local author debuts delightful new book, Caminando por la Vereda, Walking Through the Path. Por la Vereda, Through the Path, is the 7th book published by Honduran writer, poet, and painter Alejandra Flores Bermudez. A celebration and presentation of Flores Bermudez's latest offering took place on the night of May 6th in the cozy Café La Milonga in Tegucigalpa. Rosibel Pacheco brings us more in the cultural section. Think you know Spanish? Honduran slang might trip you up. Many people come to Honduras thinking they've learned adequate Spanish. That is, until they hear the local lingo, colloquialisms, idioms, and slang. Even the most proficient Spanish learners might find it challenging to keep track of a conversation in Honduras. Read the full article by Laura Stray in the cultural section. Controversial Honduran journalist hunted by death threats. Well-known controversial Honduran journalist Sandra Maribel Sanchez has once again received death threats after covering the recently resolved hunger strike involving public prosecutors. Since the beginning of April, several public prosecutors began a hunger strike to bring attention to the corruption within the Attorney General's office. Read the full article by Álvaro Morales Molina in the national section. Relevant news. Many important stories go untold. If you read the newspapers, watch television, or surf the internet in Honduras and in the U.S., you probably observe that the news stories that consistently stir the greatest volume of debate and controversy often have to do with relatively irrelevant issues that have morphed into highly contentious problems that end up consuming precious time, goodwill, and material resources. Marco Cáceres says more about the subject in the national section. Iron Man movie review. There are a lot of reasons to like Iron Man, the newest film incarnation of a Marvel comic superhero. It's got a great cast, impressive special effects, a decent plot, and also grounds itself in a plausible, believable storyline in regards to current world events. But the best thing about Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr.'s performance as Tony Stark, Iron Man. It is reason enough alone to wait in line and spend a couple of bucks on a ticket. Read Todd Ellerson's full movie review in the cultural section. This has been your online weekly update for Honduras. I'm Nicole Marder for Honduras This Week Online. Have a great day and see you next week.